John Ourand making your first business trip in more than a year, going to Denver for the MLB All-Star Game. How's it feel? How's it feel to be on the ground in the Rocky Mountain State?
It feels great. It's been 18 months, Abe, and just going to the ballpark to get the credentials. I ran into a couple of people. I recognized them, had a couple of quick chats. That hasn't happened. There's a real sense in Denver among sports business folks that, that we are starting to get out of it. I know we've been saying that for how long now, but now this is like a really big event. People are coming here. It still isn't totally normal yet. And when I went to get my credentials, I had to have my vaccination card and give that.
Oh, really?
To get them. You still have to wear masks in certain areas, so it's not totally like 2019 again. I was talking to Terry Lefton, our colleague, and we both think maybe the Super Bowl in LA, that's going to be the real big coming out party for the for the business. But I'm just telling you, it feels great, and just talking with various Fox executives, ESPN executives, all on the ground here. There's a certain energy you always get from the big events, but there's a little bit more right now.
Well, good thing you got that haircut after 18 months, or else I would not have recognized you in Denver. But baseball and baseball partners have to feel pretty good about where the game is right now, because I think the first half of the season has been pretty strong for the league. A lot of young stars emerging. Certainly we know the Ohtani storyline, so they have to feel a little bullish.
Ohtani, Fernando Tatis is somebody that people keep mentioning. If you look at the TV ratings for Major League Baseball, I mean, we're talking about, NBA ratings being down compared to 2019. The NHL playoffs, they weren't very good. Baseball actually has an okay story to tell.
It does.
ESPN, they're doing well. They're up. Fox, they're down slightly from 2019, but they're up considerably over last year. The whole storylines around MLB, they're doing pretty well. Always makes me laugh whenever we talk about baseball is everybody complains about how do we market these young stars. I think they're marketing them pretty well, and I think it's showing in terms of the TV ratings.
Yeah, I would agree, and I think that also the biggest storyline so far really has been on the field of play with some of the foreign substances and how they're going to regulate that. But overall, some of the storylines have been pretty interesting, and they're pretty well set up for a good second half, I would think.
Yeah, I was just talking to Brad Zager at Fox Sports just about the All-Star game, and he said that the way that they're going to approach the All-Star game at Fox is it's going to be a celebration of the first half of the year, and they're going to just kind of use that as a jumping off point to the rest of the year. If the races stay close, if the stars continue to play well, I think baseball is going to be very happy. And this is an Oriole fan saying this, by the way.
Well, I think that really everyone at Fox and ESPN would love to see the Yankees make a run in the AL East, but otherwise, to your point, they have to feel pretty good about the storylines. Before I let you go hit the streets of Denver, two other stories. I know you're an NBA guy. I know you're watching the NBA Finals. The business stories around the NBA viewership in your mind are what?
Okay, let me start with the good news for the NBA, because the ratings so far, the numbers, they're not very good. The good news is that on Sunday night, the Bucks won, guaranteed a Game 5. So ABC now is pretty much guaranteed to make their money back. If the Bucks can win another game and guarantee a Game 6, then, oh boy, ABC is going to be very happy. And a Game 7, we're going to see more than 20 million viewers, and all this talk of ratings is going to be thrown out the window. The bad news is that the ratings so far, they aren't very good. They're up on 2020, which is something that ABC and the NBA really wants to hammer home. But through the first two games, which is all the numbers that we have at the time we're taping this, Abe, down 35% from 2019, down 51% from the first two games of 2018. I mean, that's a trend line that, they're up from the very low bubble of last year, but it's a tough story to be spinning.
And your reasoning for those numbers, is it because of the lack of major marquee teams or markets or players, or what is it a larger issue with the NBA programming?
Look, as with all ratings, there are probably 20 reasons why the numbers are down. And I think you can take any one of those reasons. One reason that you didn't mention, these games are being played in July, after the July 4th holiday.
That's fair.
That
Yep.
there are fewer people watching television now than in June, when the NBA typically has its playoffs. So I think, add them all together. There are different reasons for here, why, and whatnot. I'll really be looking at next year or the year after. Will Giannis become the type of star that draws the TV ratings? Possibly. LeBron James did it in Cleveland, which is not one of the big markets. They need other players to start stepping up, and I'm a fan. They have a good core group of young players.
Well, John, as we know, it was a tough week personnel-wise in Bristol and around all the storylines at ESPN. But when it comes to their programming and rights deals, they had nice wins with both the Euro Championship, and they're seeing significant gains around their UFC partnership.
Yeah, last week was a tough week PR-wise with Maria Taylor and Rachel Nichols and trying to deal with that fallout. I'm curious to see if that has legs going into this week. I'm almost certain that it will, because Maria Taylor's contract is up right in the middle of the finals. Game 6, literally that day, is when her contract is up. And so we should know on July 20th, we will know on July 20th, the resolution of what happened with that. I mean, those Euro numbers for mid-afternoon games during the week are huge. And it shows why the rights for soccer, international soccer, in Italy, in Spain, you're seeing just rights fees going through the roof. MLS, they have their rights coming up. US Soccer, they have their rights coming up. We both think that they're going to see pretty significant increases in their rights fee. I mean, the soccer right now is doing really, really well as a media property in the United States. And in terms of ESPN with the UFC, their strategy, I think, is so good. I mean, it's so normal. They have preliminaries on ESPN, and then they draw you into ESPN Plus, and then they make you pay for the pay-per-view. And it's Conor McGregor, who's he is one of the most reliable pay-per-view UFC fighters that's ever existed. So they're doing really, really well with that property.
And to your point, from the top of the funnel all the way to the purchasing decision, ESPN has really mapped out the user experience quite well. John Ourand, I know you're eager to go see Sources in Denver. Have a great week in Denver. We look forward to your full report down the road.
Yeah, Abe, get me out of this dingy hotel room. The sun's shining, man.
You never know it, but be well. Have a good one.
Thanks.